Minnesota takes tenant rights seriously, and landlord entry rules are an important part of that. While Minnesota's statutes don't specify an exact notice period, the legal framework is clear, and courts enforce it. Welcome to tenantscreeningbackgroundcheck.com. Here's what Minnesota landlords need to know about property entry. Minnesota requires reasonable notice before a landlord enters a rental unit for non-emergency purposes. The standard most commonly applied in Minnesota is 24 hours, and giving written notice is strongly recommended over verbal communication. Entry must take place at a reasonable time. In Minnesota, this generally means normal business hours during the day. Arriving very early in the morning or in the evening without the tenant's consent is not considered reasonable. Minnesota permits entry for making repairs or improvements, conducting inspections, showing the property to prospective tenants or buyers, and for other legitimate property management purposes. Entry the tenant has agreed to is also always permitted. Emergency entry without notice is allowed in Minnesota when there is an immediate threat to the safety of the property or its occupants. A genuine emergency, not a routine concern, is what the exception covers. Minnesota has strong tenant protection statutes. Landlords who engage in harassing entry practices, entering repeatedly without notice, or using access to intimidate a tenant can face claims under Minnesota's tenant remedies statutes, which provide for rent escrow, rent withholding, and damages. For Minnesota landlords, use written 24-hour notice as your standard practice. Enter during business hours and document all your communications. It's simple, professional, and legally sound. For complete landlord resources and tenant screening tools, visit tenantscreeningbackgroundcheck.com.